Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Barcast TV. It is January 2nd, 2024, and we have a very special game with two highly ranked players here. Spawning on the left side of Heartbreak Hill, playing as the Red Pieces, we have Yudi, aka Free for All Time, playing as the Red Pieces. And on the right side of the map, spawning as the Blue Cortex Commander, Goopy. My man Goopy. So this should be a really great match. Definitely enjoy this map in particular. I need to switch this real fast. So while these two players get underway with their opening builds, I've been seeing some pretty exciting things in Bar recently. I have a couple of new players I noticed kind of joining the scene, coming over from FAF or Forged Alliances. So shout out to Blodier, Tagada, Turbo. I think I saw Jagged Appliance playing, so if you guys are watching, welcome to the game. I hope to see some more of your 1v1s being played and the opportunity to cast them. So I really like seeing the 1v1 scene grow, and it just gives me more motivation to, continue casting games or even putting on another tournament for you guys. So that's something I've been thinking about here coming up in the works. If you want to see a 1v1 tournament, like the video, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you guys are interested in seeing, and I'll be sure to kind of get it on the channel. So thank you for that, for all of you who've been leaving comments. Really appreciate that. Let's go ahead and look at these opening build orders. We see Free for All Times going for a bot lab first. It's already got two solars out. This can be a little awkward on these win maps, having to kind of balance your E so early on. And his opponent, who's working on his third solar collector, has also gone for Cortex bot lab, right? So bots versus bots, pretty standard in these 1v1 matchups. I'm not sure if this kind of gets stale over time. I think there's enough decision making in the game that like air quotes mirror matchups are very interesting. Nice to see this res bot out, getting this early reclaim. There's not much metal on this map, but these trees actually have quite a bit of E in them, like 800 for that pine right there. So that's enough of that. Let's see how these early unit interactions go. We see a single grunt moving across the map. It's going to try and find some early damage here, but I'm fairly confident Yudi is going to be able to shut this down here. See, he gets a nice little first shot off there. Is he going to get the flanking damage? Yeah, so takes that grunt out. Leaves himself with about a little less than 10 HP, 10%. We're going to have to see how our man Goopy goes. He's gone ahead and got his res bot out. There's a nice little patch of 90 metal right here for those of you who haven't played this map. I actually like grabbing that with my commander, and we see an early energy converter out for Goopy, so he's trying to fix his E here at the start of the match. Not a big deal. See, both players are fairly even on metal. Very close at the start of the game, and yeah, let's take a look at these expansion patterns. We see Chisato's moving out with a very forward construction bot here, so he's got, looks like four expanding construction bots. One of those is just going to move into wind turbine production. Same for our man Goopy here. See 1, 2 expanding construction bots. He's got a bit more grunts out. I'm wondering if that's going to allow him to counterattack here in a minute. See, he should be moving across the map. A really nice control from Chisato there, taking out a couple of grunts for free, essentially. Even continuing to micro here, so 3 kills on this grunt. It's going to end up going down, but nice trade nonetheless. Kind of pressuring his opponent, but this early resbot's paying for itself already. Picked up that 90 metal, picking up rezzing a couple of these grunts here, so really nice to see that. Checking out, see some more wind turbines queued up for our red player here on the left side of the map, really far away from your opponent. Nice to see that. Should see some here on the high ground. Yep, see those silhouettes coming online, so it's going to be one of these expanding construction bots, really. So a lot of, see 3 construction bots heading towards this north plateau for our red player. Interesting to see, quite the dedication to securing that part of the map. Meanwhile, our man Goopy just still content to expand to these like low ground mexes here. Really nice and protected. For those of you who haven't played on this map, really the only entrance into this main base is by vehicles is through this pathway here. So really nestled and protected on this map. Perhaps why we see most players opening bots on this map. Try and clear that off the screen. Keep an eye on these statistics. Yeah, Free for All Time's up about 600-700 metal here at the moment. Definitely a function of playing rather greedy here. He's hiding grunts all across the map, making his opponent chase those down. All the while he is just free to expand on his side of the map. Even more construction bots moving out all over the map. So really, really cool playstyle to see someone playing so greedy. I like this myself personally. It's like, you know, you just play greedy until you start losing, right? And then you draw it back a little bit. That's the advice I give players I see. Speaking of advice, if you all are new to 1v1s or just a bar in general and want to get some advice from mentors in the scene, those are available to you on the bar Discord. There's an academy channel. You can post any questions you have in there, submit replays, and a mentor should reach out to you to kind of analyze that for you. I myself am one, so I've been helping some players out with their own games, and if you want to improve at bar, give us a message. And if you're interested in becoming a mentor, I think you can apply through, is it Driver host or runs that? I'm not sure, but anyways, let's get back to this cast. We see a couple of exploiters here. I love these units, so strong. Nice forward radar here from our red player. Goopy's trying to do the same, expanding into this top right side. We still have a lone grunt on this. One of these grunts that was hidden earlier is going to be coming and trying to get some harassing damage done. Meanwhile, Goopy's found an expanding construction bot here. Sorry, I missed that. I think we had a little scuffle there in the middle. And I think he's got enough grunts to move past this LLT here. It's going to get self-D'd by our Manchasado, but just goes down barely in time. So nice catch here by Goopy, clearing out 2 of those construction bots and a couple of mexes for his troubles. I think somehow he controlled D this one. I didn't see that exactly. Yeah, one of the spectators calling that out. Meanwhile, on the right side of the map, we see that run by here from our red player is gonna maybe get this construction bot. Yeah, finally scouting that, and even more raiding done, getting done by Goopy here. So action all across the map here. Trying my best to keep up with this. And I want to give the advantage maybe perhaps to Goopy now. He's behind in metal, but he seems way up in units, and that's a function of the fact Chisado's moved into 2 factory production, whereas our blue player is still content to sit on his 1 bot lab. And these incisors will make a big difference. They're very strong against grunts, so I think they have a little bit higher movement speed and equal range, so still more damage getting done by Goopy here, picking out a Nex and a wind turbine for his grunt, so really cost-efficient trade here. I love seeing this little forward outpost here, the 3 exploiters. That's going to let our red player kind of back expand to these. And a really nice contain here. I mean, look at where Chisado is left off here. So just this little circle here on the map while our blue player is free to expand. See, these tanks are getting pinched up against this cliff here. Another good trade here, and a Resbot in tow is going to make short work of that reclaim, getting that back online. Wonder if our Goopy is going to split off a couple of grunts here to keep an eye on that bottom left expansion. Meanwhile, on the right side of the map, we see Goopy's getting up a second factory. He's kind of stalling on E at the moment. Both players are contending with this low wind speed at the moment. Free for all time has some E in the bank. I'm wondering, does he have an energy storage up, or just has a little bit more solar, it seems like. 3 solar collectors, and those are about even. Nice little run by here. These depowered LLTs aren't going to be able to do their DPS against these harassing units, so a really nice catch there. See some Resbots trying to get this LLT back online. That's cute. Like seeing that. And yeah, let's zoom out and just take a look at this game state here. We see Yudi's moving out of the main base here, heading towards this top left corner, trying to grab these mexes here. Yeah, we're going to grab all those. See an expanding construction bot on the bottom left side doing what it can to get back online, but I think our blue player is going to be pressuring that side short enough. He's grouping up his units. He's clearing up these run-bys on the right side. This is a really great game so far. Nice harass from both players. See little raiding parties all across the map trying to do what they can to stop these expansions from coming online, and a huge catch there. This LT catching one of these resbots and really denying that reclaim, and this is just what you don't want to see, a little citizen's arrest on this construction bot. I don't think it's going to be long for the world, and a really big push in the middle. I didn't see this till just now. A lot of grunts controlling this high ground. I think they're going to be able to take out this factory at least. It's kind of awkward to get those tanks back up on this hill, and I think our man Yudi is almost out of units here. He just has a couple of tanks and grunts to contest with this. Somehow Goopy found an opening here in the middle of the map. Really evening up the metal so far, and he's just going to run into the main base and start taking out wind turbines. So really nice, short, clean game there, but a lot of action leading up to it. So well played, Goopy. Maybe these guys will play a rematch here, and I can cast that for you. So let's take a look and see if they're going to sit here and go again here in the lobby. Well, if not, I can end this cast for you guys. I actually was doing this live here with everyone. Nice big 1v1 lobby. So many observers here in the match. So free for all time, hit the check mark. I wonder if Goopy's going to do it too. Yeah, free for all time saying too much greed from playing free for alls, but doing a little bit of banter here after the match, and I think they're going to go into game 2, so something I didn't expect. I was here observing these players. I found this lobby, and thought it would be great to cast them live, but hopefully we'll get a nice little second match here for everyone. They're going to switch maps to Cetus Crack, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into game 2. Maybe they'll play a best of 3 here. We'll be pretty lucky to see that. Can Stink going having such a short 1v1, but I can appreciate those nice swift games. Decisive victories. I'll take a sip of water here while we load into the next match. Hope you all had a happy New Year celebration as we move into 2024. Lots of stuff to be excited about looking into the new year. Hope you guys have made some your own plans and goals and whatnot, and we can work towards those over the next year. So we see free for all time spawning in the bottom left. I think it's the red pieces again, and it's going to be starting on this hill, which I can appreciate that. I like that start. We see a lot of high level players do that. Meanwhile, his opponent Goopy spawning on this most forward 3-mech start, so can already see a difference in 2 play styles here. I'll have to take a look and see how much of a difference that actually makes as the game progresses. Yeah, here we go, loading in. Good luck, have fun's called. Free for all time. Throwing it back at him, so really nice to see the sportsmanship between these guys. Something I'm always happy to see. So yeah, 2-mech start, and I think he's going to go 2 solars. Despite being a wind map, I mean, coincidentally, wind speed actually is very low at the start here, so I've been noticing this out of some players, even on wind maps, they'll just open double solar collectors to make sure they get this bot lab out without stalling. Pretty much always guaranteed, and you can reclaim those if you want, and we know Goopy's going armed, so I wonder if he's going to be opening vehicles here. We'll have to see this OP wind start. He's trying to force out a couple of wind turbines. I think this is something I like to do. If you make the one solar here, you can fund making these winds, and then yeah, so now it's going to turn back on. He's got a decent economy. He should be moving right into bots. Okay, not what I expected, but pretty cool to see. He's got access to the ticks, those pawns, which have the same DPS as a blitz, that arm light tank. And we can see the difference in these starts here. Free for all time has got he's spent almost all of his starting mass here, and has just got those 3 wind turbines up with the 2 solars. So I would say the early open advantage here definitely going towards Goopy. We see he's already up 100 metal or so. He's got a decent, not quite decent more economy. It looks like wind went back down. So hey, maybe the pendulum's swinging back into the favor of our red players as far as opens go. See, he's got 1 expanding construction bot here, adding on a couple of LLTs. Really interesting placement there with that LLT. I like to see that. Just continuing to make LLTs and radars, and then finally moving into exploiters as we get farther away from the main base. Such a strong unit as the core player. Yeah, and then just a second construction bot moving towards the back left. Looks like Chisato is going to catch this tick here, or at least prevent it from getting damaged. Let's take a look on Goopy's side of the map. Hasn't moved into any expanding engineers just yet. You see one of them's assisting this factory, another one's adding on additional wind turbines. And he's just content to sit here and pump out units in classic Goopy fashion. I think he's definitely a very aggressive player. Absolutely. So, had a chance to, I guess, coach Goopy. He submitted a replay for me to coach for him. I'm not sure how much he got out of that. He's definitely higher skilled than me at this game, but it's always nice to have someone kind of double check what you're doing, give you some advice or feedback if you need it. So, and hope that really helped you out there, Goopy. Was glad to do that for you. Nice little pick off there. This grunt's going down to the pawn. Something you don't see too often. Grunts outrange pawns, which is that can make playing this matchup actually very difficult as the arm player. You'll have to pick and choose your battles wisely. You gotta flank. You gotta come in for a surprise attack. Otherwise, you'll just get really chewed up by a higher level player who's really on point with his control here. Is this grunt gonna go down or this pawn? Yeah, so really nice catch there. Continuing with the aggression here. Really just mirroring the movements here. He's gonna try and run up the hill. That's not what you want to do engaging versus pawns. So you can kind of close that distance. Some more raids on the bottom side of the map. I don't know if Chisato knows about this. Does he have a radar up? This could actually do a lot of damage here, these 3 pawns. I'd like to see Goopy micro this damage pawn in the back, take the first, let a higher health grunt take some further shots, and even a resbot out already for our man Goopy, so I'd love to see that. Kind of late on the expansion, and he's stalling metal at the moment. Let's look back at these statistics. Looks like free-for-all time actually caught up or exceeded Goopy with the metal income right now. He's sitting at plus 18 per tick, really far ahead of his opponent, 9 advantage. And even getting some raids off, so denying an expanding mechs there, taking out one, and he's going to get this construction bot? I'm not sure. It's going to end up going down. Luckily, if Goopy has a res bot out, and it's going to go ahead and res that first. Still more run-bys attempts here from our red player. It's going to get cleaned up there. That was a nice trade for Goopy, protecting those mexes. And looks like on the opposite side of the map, this little run-by attempt is going to get shut down. Let's take a zoom out here and look at the state of this game. Chisato is up 500 metal and has a much better position. He already has this like quadrant secured, right? He's got 4 expanding construction bots. He's happy to sit inside the main base and assist the factory with his commander, and he's even getting out more build power, so we're going to see the same style from last game, just really playing super greedy with these construction bots, something I've been trying to work into my own games. Hopefully you guys can too. It's you can do a lot of work with units, radar, and construction bots, right? You just want to play greedy. See, Goopy's finally able to get a couple of construction bots here on the map, and I want to say this advantage is going to go to our red player. He's trying to pressure here, but there's really no reason to. Of course, he doesn't know that. He's just trying to do the moves here, harass in this early game where you can, find chinks in the armor, gaps in the LLTs, and I think these grunts are going to get caught. He's trying to do his best to run by. Do they have the same speed? 84 speed for the... Yeah, so same speed on the grunts and pawns, but luckily you got in front of the units here. I think this construction bot's going to go down. No, they're targeting those mexes. And Goopy's going to pull that construction bot back to safety here, so... Take a look at the main base here for our man Goopy. Really scaling his E at the moment. Sitting at plus 400. I think he's excessed quite a bit. Yeah, 40k excess, so he's almost excessed 50%. 42% wind excess there. That is not good. Really need to button that up compared to his opponent, right? So it's like Goopy's produced 30k more energy, but is excessed more than that over his opponent. So a really clean open here from our man Chisato. So I'm going to try my best to upload these links in the description, so if you guys want to download these for yourself and kind of study the games from these really high level players, it's a great way to learn. Something I do myself. I'm sure you guys have seen me doing that. And a great way to learn. I mean, just watch the replays of the people who beat you, man. I can't think of a better way to improve other than just grinding out games versus an AI, kind of practicing specific opens or specific build orders. See the power of the grunt here. Just able to kite these units all day long. But that's a nice little attacking force for Goopy. I'm wondering if he's going to be able to get in and find some damage, but we see exploiters already coming up from our red players, so as he moves farther away from his own main base, he's just content to add on exploiters at will. These early expanding construction bots have moved into wind turbine production, and we have a T2 bot lab already on the way here, so somehow Chisato found the metal, and to do that, he's up 4k metal already, 8 minutes into the match, and he's perfectly content to sit here and try and get up this T2 lab. I'm wondering if that's the one way you can actually throw the game, but we'll have to take a look and see. Goopy's got a lot of res bots doing their thing on his side of the map, trying to get those units that were raiding earlier in the match. And yeah, this T2 lab is already finished, and these fiends are fairly cheap, 200 metal apiece. LLTs are going to shoo away this little run by attempt here, and that T2 unit detected sound is probably giving Goopy a little bit of pause here. He's continuing to scale his build power up, and I'm thinking we might be able to see a game 3 here if this goes the way I think. Definitely want to give the red player an advantage here, but as I say that, a huge run by attempt coming through, but these fiends are going to make short work of these units. 2 fiends can crush these pawns. Are they going to get up on the high ground? His commander's right there. He doesn't know that. He's going to try and find some damage, so he's going to get a couple of wind turbines for his trouble. But that construction turret is going to reclaim those units, and a run by attempt is going to get shut down. See this forward exploiter is trying to get taken out. More units streaming across the map, but these fiends are pulled back, and they're going to clean this up. And I think after Chisato deals with these run-by attempts here, he's going to be free to continue scaling his E and just pumping out these units. He's got a T2 construction bot out. He's going to be upgrading his mexes. And our man Goopy has made a forward vehicle lab here. He's got blitzes on repeat. He's going to start mixing these into his unit composition. He's got some idle ticks here on the right side of the map, continuing to res these units from earlier. And he's got a decent amount of expanding engineers. We see 1 on the top side, we see 2 on the right. Doing what he can to get back into this game. Still a 4k metal difference between these 2 players, and there's not a trivial amount of metal sitting outside of Chisato's main base. Looks like he started upgrading that. I'm not sure why that T2 bot is assisting the factory here at the moment, but another run by attempt here, and Chisato doesn't have a lot of units actually. He's got a couple of fiends here, which these tanks can do a decent job standing up against them as long as you don't get too clumped up and let that splash damage from these fiends get their damage. See with the flanking damage. Oh, he's gonna self-D it? Not sure if he canceled that or not. Run by attempt is going to get cleaned up. Not sure if that was kind of an ambitious little comp snipe there, but yeah, free for all time. Doing what he can. He's finally able to counterattack here. Got a big force of units on the right side. More pawns streaming into the middle of the map. Take a look at these main bases. You see a big construction gang here. A lot of build power going into this factory. Meanwhile, just 3 construction turrets, and Chisato's having a hard time spending his metal. He's actually getting this metal storage up, so this 7k difference is kind of shortened up. Just based off of him kind of not being able to spend this metal. I think he should be able to fix that here shortly. He's going to add on a construction turret with this combat engineer, and is going to start producing these more metal intensive units. He's going to go 2 Suos into 30 mammoths. I wonder what his plan is for here. See, a single fiend has got through. It's going to do so much damage if it can. He's queued up to attack these undefended mexes and head towards these wind turbines here. So, but this is a pretty big standing army. what was that? 7 blitzes, 17 pawns, 2 grunts. Got another run by attempt here on the bottom right side. Gonna try and deal with that exploiter, but I think the real tale here is this fiend is gonna take out all of these wind turbines, no doubt. Completely undefended. And this might actually seal the fate here. Meanwhile, Goopy might be able to get a snipe off if he's lucky here, but this sumo is gonna shoo away this T1 army. And free for all time, moving back up to the protection of this hill for now. And all of these wind turbines are getting dealt with. This fiend is so low. It's going to end up getting reclaimed by the construction turret. But yeah, Goopy tapping out, calling GG. So maybe we'll see game 3 here between these two players. So I wonder what the next map is going to be. But yeah, the series tied up 1-1. Maybe we'll move into game 3. Let's see if these players want to play one more. Got that going there. Game 3. Yeah, Goopy's saying ARM bots too hard versus core bots. I'd have to agree with him. Pretty much why I stopped playing ARM as my as I was learning the game, trying to get better at 1v1s. Definitely experimented with like having access to the ticks and whatnot. Is pretty good at some points of the game, but as you move up and get, I think above like 40 OS, it's so much more difficult to play against those players that just like are on point with their micro and control that just kite you forever all day. It can be really hard to get your rating done. It can be hard to do anything essentially. So props to Goopy for trying that. I really think he was going to open armed vehicles just on that open land map off that triple mech start, but yeah, here we are going to game 3. They queued up pretty quickly. I'm going to be played on Comet Catcher. Incoming dual spawn. Not going to see that from our man Goopy. I actually don't mind dual spawns on this map. It's pretty good. I like how the expansion is a little bit different, but I think moving into the middle with your comm seems like it's not terrible. Maybe that's what I'm saying. It's like there isn't just one place to spawn, so it's one thing I like about Bar. It's not completely solved by any means. So you see similar spawning positions though, as I say that for both players, and interesting building placement here. SimCity rather. You see a solar collector not blocking the forward attack from this LLT, or this attack path from the LLT. I think you usually see a lot of guys will cover that LLT with the solar collector. And free for all time's kind of doing something similar here, so just choosing to block the backside of that LLT in 2 mechs as he walks to this 3rd mech here with his commander. You'll see he'll go mech solar collector. I'm assuming Land Factory. I'd be really tickled to see if both these guys open bots. And Goopy chose ARM again here, so I'm sure he's going to be going vehicles here. Calling out, this is one of the, like, map is so bad. I'd have to agree with him. I mean, I think it's bad in the sense that it's overplayed, but it's good in regards of, like, it's a solid solar map for 1v1. So I'll give it credit where credit is due, but I do enjoy practicing on other maps, playing wind maps, I mean, there's so much you can practice in this game, so much to learn. So yeah, so free for all time is going to be opening core vehicles. Meanwhile, our blue player is going armed vehicles, so we're going to have the Janus being used at some point in this match, I'd imagine. Goopy's going ahead, getting his 3rd and 4th solar. Is going to add on an LLT and then moving into the middle of the map with his commander. So really aggressive start here. We'll have to see how that changes for our man Chisato, aka Yudi, aka free for all time. I've been swapping between those names, but you end up going construction bot first here and then into 5 rascals or scouts. And we see with that rush distance, I mean, he's able to get these rascals out on his own, going construction bot first. But not the biggest of deals. I think scouting your opponent, seeing what their tech they're going for, kind of making a beeline across the map. So it's going to get cleaned up It's going to let Chisato expand it here. He's going to get his LLT and radar up. He's content to sit in the main base, assisting the factory. And with 2 LLTs in Goopy's base, he's able to leave fairly quickly. He's not at risk of being harassed here. Really nice positioning. See the coverage on these 2 units. One of those rascals is going to get taken out. And yeah, we have two cons assisting the factory. Like seeing assisted factories. I don't think there's anything worse than a unassisted factory in this game. It's pretty bad, but I mean, it has its time in the plays. But this early in the game, 3 minutes in, both players did a really good job spending their starting metal. Dead even on energy. Excuse me, dead even on metal, pretty much. A little slight difference for free for all time. Not the biggest deal. I think that's a function of him having that earlier construction bot. But a more forward commander, so you can get no LLTs actually. I think that might bite him in the butt actually. This rascal is gonna come in. He's gonna get at least the mechs. He's gonna get the radar as well. No, ends up going down. It's gonna force Goopy back a little bit. I'm sure he didn't want to walk back with his commander here. Gonna be expanding with his con. And like, look at these scouts hidden all around the map. So he's just trying to find damage. See some tanks moving, making their way across the map. 4 incisors, 5 incisors with 1 scout. Such good to see this harassment from our red player. Pretty strong, nice catch there on that one rascal here. And is Goopy gonna intercept these tanks? Not sure. I mean, you have to know the commander is there. You just saw it. It's gonna just barely sneak by and try and catch these undefended mexes here. It's gonna force Goopy back. You really don't want to see this kind of hesitation with the commander's build power here. He had to move back a couple times, and like that's not what he wanted to do expanding. I think this could have been completely stopped by at least putting an LLT there. And I want to say the one advantage Goopy had was kind of taken away. Now we see Chisato. Look at these really aggressive movements on these cons here, gobbling up these portions of the map, so everything behind it you can expand to for free essentially. Gonna have to bring that to my own games. So there's a lot of ways to play this map. Got a lot of observers here in this map. I like to see that. 1v1s are alive and well. And I think my game might be getting kind of spiraling out of control for our man Goopy here. He's going to try and rebuild these mexes and that LLT. He's got a lot of blitzes on his side of the map, but I mean, we have 3 expanding construction vehicles for our red player. Goopy's got a more forward position here in mid. He's going to end up catching these tanks here. That would be a nice trade, but good control here from red. He's able to back up and kind of kite these units. A lot of low health tanks here though. So close to being killed. See, one goes down. I think Goopy's going to have to pull back, yeah. Still trying to find damage here, taking out these low health tanks. Single targeting, nice control here. Single targeting those low health units here. Getting the most value out as he can with these units here. And yeah, really tilting to see these tanks kind of getting away with such low health. 4 kills on this tank. I think it's finally going to go down there. See a lot of build power here. Four cons assisting this factory. We see another one out. A little citizen's arrest on that one single tank, but I think with 2 more incisors coming up, might be able to get this con. They're going to be targeting these economy units, so that's going to let these 2 incisors or 2 blitzes clean up this incisor and control D on this single tank. Does that actually do splash damage? I don't think it does. For those of you who don't know, if you hold space and X, you can see the self-D range on certain units, like for instance the LLT. You can see that yellow ring is the excess damage self-D'ing will do. I actually just learned that the other day. So Goopy's making a play for it. He probably knows the position he's in, so he's gonna go for broke here. I wonder if he's throwing the game or just thinking this is the only way he can win, take his existing units with his commander and get across the map. Single rascal slipping in underneath those exploders. That's fun to see. Yeah, so Goopy might be tapping out here. He's moving in with his commander, and there's a couple of tanks in tow. And yeah, one of the spectators calling it this could actually work. Yeah, no doubt. If you get a couple of good D-guns off, you might be able to win, but you don't want to group up your blitzes here. So here we go, these two commanders. This is going to be really close. No D-guns have gone off just yet. I'd like to see one from Goopy take out those group of tanks. I think he missed a shot there, and he's single targeted. This is so close. Oh my gosh. Gets the W. How does he do it? Oh, that's insane. I really hate seeing that, but hey, it's a game, right? You gotta win somehow. So that's gonna be it. Best of 3 is in the bag here. So do you guys like seeing these 1v1 casts? Let me know in the comment section. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next replay.